Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So, according to recent reports, Manchester United have been in negotiations with Lionel Messis representatives over a possible move. Now, Lionel Messi has put in a transfer request at Barcelona, and this has been accepted by Barcelona. So Lionel Messi immediately wants to leave. Now, Barcelona have revealed their asking price. They will not let Lionel Messi leave for less than £200 million. So Barcelona want at least £200 million. Barcelona have said that his clause has expired, because reportedly it said he's got around the €700 million clause, and he's under contract with Barcelona until 2021. Now, Lionel Messi has spent the entirety of his career with Barcelona. Obviously, he did make his senior debut in 2004. Now, Lionel Messi has won the Ballon d'Or 6 times. He holds a record for the most goals in the La Liga, because he's got around 444. I think he's got most assists in La Liga. I think he's got around 36. And I think he's got the most hat-tricks, around 36. Sorry, the hat-tricks is 36, and I think the assists is around 183. And Lionel Messi is the age of 33. But I think it did mention that Manchester City are the favourites to sign him. I think for Argentina, he has scored 70 goals in 138 games. But all in all, he's got over 700 goals for his club and his country. He obviously is regarded as the best player in the world. Barcelona did recently lose 8-2 to Bayern Munich, and reflects on that, Barcelona had sacked their manager. They recently appointed Ronald Koeman in as their new manager, and maybe reflecting on that defeat, this is why Lionel Messi, put a transfer request in at Barcelona. So that is the breaking news on him. So he's going to cost at least £200 million, but there still won't be many clubs that will be able to afford even £200 million for Lionel Messi. Now, I just want to delve into some news on Harry Maguire. I was speaking with you about Harry Maguire yesterday. So, do you think Harry Maguire should remain Manchester United captain? Now, personally speaking, I don't think Harry Maguire should remain Manchester United captain. I think, we should give the captaincy to either Bruno Fernandes or Paul Pogba, because they are the two players that do show fantastic leadership in the team. Now, obviously, we give the captaincy to Harry Maguire, reflecting on Ashley Young's departure back in January. I think there's uncertainty now regarding Harry Maguire's future, and I think Solskjaer's got a big decision to make on Harry Maguire. Now, don't forget, Harry Maguire was given a suspended sentence of 21 months and 10 days. Following his trial yesterday in Greece, and he was found guilty of repeated bodily harm, attempted bribery, public violence against employers, and there was something else as well. But it did actually say before this suspended sentence came out that Harry Maguire could have paid £90,000 to avoid going to jail for 3 years. Harry Maguire did spend a few nights in the Greek cells. This was for obviously allegedly attacking police. But actually, Harry Maguire's sister had been stabbed. So this is the main explanation why this had happened. Harry Maguire's lawyer had spoken to the Greek court saying that, Harry Maguire was kicked in the legs. And, apparently it said his career was over. And Harry Maguire had actually, said to the police, who I am. I'm the captain of Manchester United and I am rich. So that's all been dealt with now. But this season will be Harry Maguire's second season at Manchester United. And obviously there's still aspects of his game that I've got to improve. Now, obviously last season was his first season at the football club. And analysing it, I thought Harry Maguire had some good games, but he also had some bad games. Now, we did get Harry Maguire in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester last summer. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club, just behind Paul Pogba, and he is the most expensive centre-half in the world. So, but Man United definitely won't sell him, but we've still got a decision to make on him. Maguire has still got quite a lot of development in him. I think Harry Maguire has scored 3 goals for the football club so far. He scored in the 6-0 win against Tranmere. He also scored in the 2-0 win against Chelsea back in February. And he also scored in the 2-1 win against Norwich in the FA Cup quarter-final. So 3 goals. Now, just want to give you some breaking news on Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. And this is actually positive news. So, according to the Daily Express, Jadon Sancho believes that his transfer to Manchester United will happen, and Borussia Dortmund agree with this. Now, it does mention that personal terms have been agreed, and it said he has agreed a 5-year contract, and he's set to earn a substantial £340,000 a week. Obviously, around 3 weeks ago now, or a bit longer, Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Sancho had agreed personal terms with Man United, and he said he was set to sign a 5-year contract with the football club. But just after that, it had come out and said that talks had broken down due to Borussia Dortmund's asking price. Now, Sky Sports did recently say that, Jadon Sancho's to Man United transfer could be now or never. So what it means is if, we don't sign him in this summer transfer window, Jadon Sancho may never ever become a Manchester United player. Now, throughout the course of this Jadon Sancho transfer saga, it has been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has been the stumbling block, because they have said several times that they want over £100 million. Dortmund's valuation is around £108 million. We said we only want to pay around £60 or £70 million up front. So it is Borussia Dortmund's asking price. It really, really is. Now, it's looked dead in the water as the Jadon Sancho deal recently, because obviously it said we had abandoned our chase for the player until the summer of 2021, which is obviously next summer. Now, Borussia Dortmund's one of their directors, Sebastian Kell, he recently said that Sancho's happy at Dortmund, and he said he will stay at Dortmund for one more season at least. And he's saying the exact same thing as what their CEO and sporting director said, because they said the other week that he'll stay at Dortmund and the decision is final. But it actually said, we had given up on, trying to sign Jadon Sancho. But I think it's very, very imperative that we get him on the board. He is our number one priority target. And we have been in for him for a while. I think we've been in for Sancho for the last, 3 years or so. Now, I did say, if we do meet Dortmund's valuation, then Sancho will be our most expensive signing, and he will be the most expensive English player in history. But I've outlined the reasons why I want Man United to sign Jadon Sancho is because he's well proven in the Premier... Not well proven, sorry. It's because he's got a good friendship with Marcus Rashford. I think he's been in regular contact with Marcus Rashford. He's also predominantly a right winger, and Man United are in search for the right winger. And he just will dramatically improve us. I think Sancho has enjoyed 3 good years with Borussia Dortmund. Obviously, Dortmund paid £8 million to him from Man City back in 2017, so they got him for next to nothing. I think Sancho has still got a contract with Dortmund until 2022 or 2023. But the main explanation why Sancho left Manchester City is because he did not get assured any first team opportunities. Before he was at City, he was at Watford. He was at Watford for several years. He was at Watford from the age of 7 to the age of 14. So he's developing really, really well. And Sancho said the other week he wants to help, young players develop at Dortmund. Now, we already made a promise to Sancho that we're willing to offer him the number 7, because obviously he'd fulfill number 7 well, and, we've got number 7 vacant at the moment, but we have had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations. Obviously we are looking at a lot of alternatives to Sancho, because I will make an admission there is much cheaper solutions than him. We've obviously been looking at Douglas Costa from Juventus, Rabbi Matondo from Schalke, Kingsley Coman from Bayern Munich, Ousmane Dembele from Barcelona, David Brooks from Bournemouth. So we have looked at a lot of alternatives. But don't forget, we missed out on the deadline to sign Sancho, because Borussia Dortmund made it clear that we had until the 10th of August to sign him. And obviously, we didn't, so Jadon Sancho decided to go on pre-season with Dortmund instead. So this transfer saga does continue to persist. Ed Woodward did recently say he expects his transfer saga to go on for the entirety of this summer transfer window. But we've already missed out on 2 players under Solskjaer. We missed out on Erling Haaland, and we also missed out on Jude Bellingham, because they both went to Dortmund. If Sancho is sold in this summer transfer window anyway, City do benefit from it, because they get around 15% of the transfer fee due to the sell-on clause. So that's the latest on all of that. But Manchester United have got to hurry up and make signings in this summer transfer window. The summer transfer window has been open now for over 4 weeks, and we have not yet made any signings. And my element of concern is that these teams around us that are recruiting very, very well. You've got Chelsea. They've done very, very good business so far. They signed Hakim Ziyech back in February for around £38 million, was it? They signed Werner for around £48 million. They've just agreed to get Ben Chilwell for £50 million. They're getting Thiago Silva on a free. And Chelsea, have also agreed to get Kai Havertz. So they could be now the shout for this season. Arsenal, they recently got Gabriel Magalhaes from Lille for around £27 million. They got Willian on the free as well. Man City, they've made some good signings. They got Ferran Torres and Nathan Ake. Liverpool, they recently signed to Sikmas from Olympiacos for around £13 million. Now they're trying to get Thiago. Tottenham, they recently signed Holberg from Southampton and got Joe Hart on A3. So, yeah, we've got to start making signings. Pre-season, there's a lot. I think pre-season's it's unknown at the moment. I don't know if we're going to be having any friendlies before the start of the new Premier League season. There's a possibility, chance we could play a few friendlies. Now, Solskjaer has already said he wants Manchester United to make at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And I think Woodward has said he wants Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings in this summer transfer window. Now, earlier on in Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial career, he said he wanted to recruit young British talents to Manchester United. That was actually his policy. Now, so far, Solskjaer spent just over £200 million at Manchester United and made around 4 permanent signings. Last summer he brought Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and Harry Maguire in. And in January he brought Bruno Fernandes and Odin Igalo in. Obviously, he brought Odin Igalo on loan, and he's also brought a few academy players in as Solskjaer. But this summer transfer window will be this summer transfer window is Solskjaer's fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. But there is so many players on our agenda. A lot of players are on our agenda, and there's still certain areas where Manchester United have got to strengthen up. I think we need to get a winner in. We need to get a holding midfielder in. We're also in search for a centre half, despite the fact that we've got 7 centre halves in the team. Some United fans will say we need to get a left back in. But yeah. But I think Solskjaer, needs backing more in this summer transfer window. Obviously, Woodward and the Glazers have said quite a few times that they are willing to back Solskjaer, and Woodward said quite a few times last season that Solskjaer's job is safe, even when we went through that bad period. But like I mentioned on one of my videos yesterday, we are losing patience now with the board. Obviously, reflecting on our lack of transfer activity. But, like I said to Woodward's been at Manchester United since, 2012? And the Glazers have been with Man United since 2005. And we've been critical of them for several years. It's obviously, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. But I think it was the end of last season where Ole Gunnar Solskjaer outlined his transfer plans, and he'd actually instructed our board to go and get his preferred targets. Solskjaer wants us to spend quite a bit of money in this summer transfer window. I think it said at the end of last season that we have got around £140 million to spend. But there's other decisions Solskjaer's got to make. He's not only going to focus on bringing players in, he's also got to obviously decide on what players he's going to get rid of. I've got a great idea of what players we're going to get rid of. I think we could get rid of up to 10 players in this summer transfer window. We're looking to get rid of Lingard. We're also looking to get rid of Andres Pereira. We're also looking to get rid of, Smalling, Rojo, Jones, Diego Dalot. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Bay. Some United fans will say we need to get rid of Victor Lindelof. But, we get rid of players in this summer transfer window. We'll generate money, and it will help us with our rebuilding process. Like I've said to you, Solskjaer has got to put Dean Henderson as number 1 for this season. Because I think now Dean Henderson is reliable enough to become our number 1, because Dean Henderson has got that experience behind him, because he's just recently enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United, and he was Sheffield United's player of the season. Now, Solskjaer did really say that Dean Henderson's not ready to become number 1, and he wants to loan him out again for this season. He certainly won't be going back to Sheffield United on loan, because Sheffield United have just recently got Aaron Ramsdale from Bournemouth for around 18.5 million. The good news is regarding Dean Henderson, it said he was close to signing a 4-year contract with Man United worth around 100 grand a week. This would obviously make him one of the highest paid goalkeepers in the world. It was only last year he signed a new deal worth around £60,000 a week, did Dean Henderson. But obviously, it's De Gea who's been our number 1 goalkeeper for several years. But I just think now he's too much of a liability. Like I've said to you, De Gea's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been at Man United. In the last couple of years, been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. This season will be De Gea's 10th season at Manchester United. De Gea has made 405 appearances for Man United in all competitions, and 300 odd of those appearances have come in the Premier League. But Solskjaer said, De Gea has been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years. Because obviously De Gea's won everything domestically at the football club, and he has won individual awards reflecting on his good run of performances. But De Gea has been with us since 2011. We paid just over £18 million for him from Atletico Madrid. But I said to you, didn't I, if we sell De Gea in this summer transfer window, which we won't, but if we did, we'd get around £60 million for him. Last September, David De Gea signed a new 4-year deal with the club worth around 375 grand a week. Don't forget, back in 2015, he was close to joining Real Madrid, but due to fax machine, the deal never materialised. I think De Gea did recently say he intends to stay at the club for several years from now, and he's already been here for several years. But Solskjaer was saying, wasn't he, during our Europa League campaign, that he is facing a dilemma with our goalkeepers. He said it will be extremely difficult for us to keep De Gea, Henderson and Romero all at the football club for this season. I think Sergio Romero is also open to leaving Man United. Obviously, throughout the course of last season, Romero played in all our League Cup games. He played in all our FA Cup games prior to the semi-final. And I think he played in all our Europa League games prior to the semi-final. Romero's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Romero has endured 5 years at Man United. We got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. Everton, Leeds and Chelsea are reportedly interested. There was stories coming out the other week saying that we could offer Romero to Aston Villa as part of a swap deal of us getting Jack Grealish. So there you go. We need to get Paul Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club. I give you the news regarding Paul Pogba recently. His agent Mino Raiola confirmed that he's staying at Manchester United, and he says that he will hold talks over a new contract. A few weeks before the end of last season, it said that Paul Pogba was close to signing a 5-year contract with Man United. And Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Pogba's happy at Man United and he said he wants to stay at Man United. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him. But we're getting a new long-term contract. It will certainly end the uncertainty over his future. Towards the end of last season, Paul Pogba was exceptional. He did well in some of our Europa League games, and I think his combination with Bruno Fernandes has been absolutely fantastic. It really, really has. So, yeah. To be fair, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer came in, which is also a positive. Have we still got around those 7 or 8 players' contracts that are due to expire next year, so Solskjaer's got to make a decision on that. I think for this season as well, Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back because obviously Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. But I expect maybe next year or two for Williams to become our first choice left back, when he has got a bit more experience behind him. But Luke Shaw, like I said, I like him a lot. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. Luke Shaw's endured 6 years with Man United. We got him from Southampton back in 2014 for around £30 million. We've also got a lot of good young players coming through as well. Obviously, Ethan Laird recently got promoted into the senior squad. He's another option at right back. Ethan Galbraith, he recently got promoted into the senior squad. Obviously, we're going to loan a few young players out. Don't forget, we recently loaned Tahith Chon out to Werder Bremen. He's gone on a 10-month loan so he can get regular first-team football. That was the right decision by Man United to loan him out. James Gann and Dylan Levitt are going to be going out on loan. Kovar's going to be going out on loan. Joe Pereira's going out on loan again for this season. He's going to Huddersfield Town, according to reports. Last season, he was on loan with Hearts, was Joe Pereira. So you already know the news on that. But this season is the big test for Solskjaer because this season is his second full season at the club and he knows that he has got bigger expectations to exceed. His expectations this season, Solskjaer's, will be to, get Man United challenging for the Premier League title, and the other expectation will be to win a major honour because we've not won out in terms of silverware yet under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. And we haven't won a major honour for over 3 years. And that's the first time this has happened in like 31 years. And obviously, there's still improvements needed at Manchester United. And we've got to see these improvements this season. There's still certain players that have got to step up to the plate. I think that there's aspects of our game that have definitely got to improve. I think Solskjaer's decision making has also got to improve. I think as it stands now, Solskjaer's just got under 2 years left on his current contract at Man United. But if he was to, do well with us this season, and he was to continue on how we did at the second part of last season, maybe there's a possibility we could enter negotiations over getting him a new contract at the club. It all depends on how things go this season. If it doesn't work out this season, then I presume that Solskjaer will be sacked as Manchester United manager. Maybe he won't be, but I think he could be, yeah. But I recently give you a review on Solskjaer's first full season at the club, because his first full season was last season, and I thought he did quite well, to be quite honest with you. He did exceed most expectations. Obviously got us qualification for the Champions League, and he did say, didn't I, how important Champions League was for our players, attracting players, and for the financial structure. We also finished third, and we progressed to 3 semi-finals. We got to the FA Cup semi-final, the Europa League semi-final, and the EFL Cup semi-final. But Solskjaer said that semi-finals are not good enough. But the first part of last season, don't forget, we enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And at that point, Solskjaer was close to getting sacked as Manchester United manager. But like I said, Solskjaer has been at Manchester United now. Is it around 19, or is it 19 and a half months, or is it 20 months now he has been at the club? He's definitely been at the club now over a year and a half. But I'm hopeful that we can win a title under Solskjaer. Obviously, if we do, it will be our first title under the Solskjaer era, and our 21st title overall. As it stands at the moment, we have won 20 titles, and 13 of them are Premier Leagues. So obviously we are the most successful team in Premier League history at the moment. But we have not won the Premier League since 2013. In the last 7 years, we haven't, mounted any kind of title challenge up. Despite the money, we've spent as well. We spent a good 900 odd million pounds on players, or is it 800 odd million pounds on players since Ferguson's retirement, and we have recruited a good 32, 33 players in since Ferguson left. But let's put into the equation, Solskjaer's inheriting a squad that is worth 700 odd million pounds. That's disregarding who he's brought in. He's inheriting players either from the Jose Mourinho era, still a few players either from the Van Gaal era, Maguire from the Moyes era, and still a few players either from the Ferguson era. But, the vast majority of his team is actually Jose Mourinho's. Mourinho spent around 400 million at Man United, or just under. Van Gaal spent over 200 million pounds. And I think Moyes spent around £65 million at the football club. And like I said earlier on, Solskjaer spent just over £200 million since he came in. But in the last 7 years, we have had different managers with different philosophies. 3 managers have been sacked since Ferguson. Moyes got sacked after, 8 and 9 months. Louis Van Gaal got sacked after 2 years, despite winning the FA Cup. And Mourinho got sacked after 2.5 years, despite winning the Europa League and the League Cup in his first season. But like I've said to you before, it's just going to be hard for any manager at Manchester United to, or any manager in general, in fact, should I say, it's going to be hard for them to replicate Ferguson's legacy, and it's going to be hard for them to last as long as Ferguson did. Ferguson, won 38 major honours as Manchester United manager, obviously including the 13 Premier League titles, and he enjoyed 20 odd years at Man United. But in the entirety of our history, we've won 45 trophies. But like I said, the vast majority of them trophies, came under Alex Ferguson, didn't they? So, there you go. But like I said, there's positives to take. There's positives to take from Solskjaer's tenure. I think our recruitment's improved under him. He's got rid of a lot of the deadwood like we all wanted. He's promoted the youth well like we all wanted. We have seen an upturn in form since January in the league, because we are unbeaten in our last 14 league games. Don't forget as well, went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea had beaten us in the FA Cup semi-final and all of that. But yeah. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.